I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise it won't be boring. I always had a repulsive need to be something more than human. Tomorrow belongs to those who can hear it coming. I'm an instant star, just add water and stir. The truth is, of course, is that there is no journey. We are arriving and departing all at the same time. Aging is an extraordinary process where you become the person you always should have been. Religion is for people who are afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for those who've been there. All art is unstable. Its meaning is not necessarily that implied by the author. I change all the time. I'm not sure I ever actually was what I once claimed to be. You can neither win nor lose if you don't run the race. Fame itself doesn't really afford you anything more than a good seat in a restaurant. I'm not a prophet or a stone-aged man, just a mortal with potential of a Superman. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Music has always been my doorway to perception in the house that I live in. I reinvented my image so many times that I'm in denial that I was originally a skinny Londoner with bad teeth. I'm always amazed that people take what I say seriously. I don't even take what I am seriously. It makes me so happy to be at the beginning again, knowing almost nothing. A door opening into the future. There's a terror in knowing what the world is about. I'm not sure if it's me or the things around me that are changing. I don't have a problem with aging. It's just a matter of keeping curious. I'm not a rock star. I'm not in rock and roll. I don't really like rock and roll. What I have is an insane desire to be something more than I am. You feel like a ghost in your own life. You fade even while you're still here. When you're young, you find inspiration. Later, you try to become it. Make the best of every moment. We're not evolving. We're not going anywhere. There's a part of me that's always been 25. No matter how old I get, I still feel like that outsider. I'm always drawn to the fringe of things. That's where I find the magic. I'm not a natural performer. I'm just a person who wears characters like masks. My performances are theatrical, not sincere. But sometimes that's how I express truth. You don't have to make sense. You just have to make noise. Never play to the gallery. Always remember that the reason you started working was that there was something inside yourself that you felt needed expressing. I used to think that I had a great voice. Then I met Freddie Mercury. Art was always a way to negotiate the world, a way to find myself in it. I'm closer to a painter than a rock star. My music doesn't belong to me. It belongs to whoever needs it. It's not about the sound. It's about what the sound evokes. Everything I ever wrote was a form of therapy. I used to pretend to be someone else so I could finally be myself. Fame is like a mask you can't take off, even when you're alone. Being an artist is the most terrifying and liberating thing I've ever done. To me, Ziggy was just a vehicle for things I couldn't say as David. The weirdness was always the point. I never wanted to fit in. I would rather be dead than boring. The stars are never far away. Art allows us to bleed without injury. I've always felt like an alien among humans. It's not about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. Rock and roll is a way to pretend the chaos makes sense. Sometimes you have to disappear to truly be seen. I lived in fear of being ordinary. That fear kept me alive. There's a thin line between identity and costume. I've danced on it my entire life. I often feel more real as a character than I ever did as myself. The universe doesn't speak in words. It hums in frequencies. I just try to tune in. Time is a trickster, but so am I. Some days, I wake up feeling like a melody. Other days, just feedback and static. I never aim to be understood. I aim to be felt. Style is the armor you wear to survive your own skin. There's more honesty in a well-painted lie than in a badly spoken truth. I never chase trends. I chase shadows and turn them into stardust. The sky was never the limit. That's where I began. Every reinvention was just another version of the truth I was scared to tell. People crave permanence. I crave the freedom to vanish. Art isn't a product. It's a portal. I didn't write songs to be remembered. I wrote them to survive the moment. Music is what happens when silence becomes unbearable. I wasn't trying to be weird. I just refused to be dull. I left pieces of myself in every city I passed through. Maybe that's why I always felt scattered. Even in the darkest corners of the mind, you can hear a synth playing softly. You don't need to be loud to be heard. You just need to be strange enough. Sometimes, I think I was born in black and white and lived in Technicolor. There's more future in your imagination than in any machine. The stage is where I disappeared so I could finally be seen. Love was always the hardest song to write and the easiest to perform. I didn't belong anywhere, so I created everywhere. Life isn't linear. It's more like a vinyl record, scratched and spinning. You only start to live once you've let go of trying to make sense of things. Some souls are born electric. We don't walk. We glide on frequency. Normality is a costume that never quite fit me. I never trusted mirrors. They only show who you were, not who you're becoming. The more masks I wore, the more of myself I discovered. I never wanted to be famous. I wanted to be legendary. Reality is boring. That's why we invented music. In the end, all I ever wanted was to sound like outer space felt. Every mistake I made was a doorway to something brilliant. The future never frightened me. It was the present that gave me chills. Truth, to me, is whatever shimmers in the dark. My songs are postcards from a galaxy I made up just to feel less alone. Loneliness isn't a curse. It's a canvas. I wasn't born to be understood. I was born to disrupt. Every generation gets its own alien. I just happened to land in the 70s. You have to risk becoming a cliché to ever become iconic. I never chased meaning. I chased wonder. They asked me who I was. I said, wait till the next album. Your weirdness is your crown. Wear it until it fits. The deeper I dove into my oddness, the closer I got to the truth. I don't believe in endings, only transformations. The future is something you build with your bare hands and broken heart. Being an artist means failing gloriously and often. Give me a synth, a thought, and a night sky, and I'll give you a universe. I hope I made people feel less alone in their beautiful strangeness.